Hey friends, welcome to Tori Talks TV, and welcome to our Fab 5. Today's Fab 5 is in celebration of Mother's Day, so this is our top 5 favorite TV moms. Whoa! Did you have difficulty with this? Because there's a lot of really great TV
I
moms
just
out there.
went from the heart. I just chose them, and I thought about them, and I stuck to my original choices.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, from the gut.
I feel like I had so many contenders, but I did narrow it down.
Okay.
So, are you ready for my number 5?
I am.
My number 5, you won't be shocked, is Roseanne Conner
Mm-hmm.
from Roseanne.
Yeah.
I mean, this is before this last season. Okay, this is all the 9 seasons that
Yes.
I fell in love
OG
with her.
Roseanne.
OG, exactly. So she's definitely not your most glamorous TV mom, but definitely by far one of the strongest that I've ever seen depicted. She's also one of the first to portray a mother in a blue-collar American family where both the mom and the dad worked. Right, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So she's very, very outspoken, very candid. She's a little rough around the edges. I kind of like that though, and she was very realistic about how difficult it is to be a working mom.
Yeah.
They were barely making it. I remember the episode where the power went out, and because they couldn't pay the bill. I don't know. It was sad to see the trials and tribulations. And she was often depicted as having the control, and Dan, her husband, usually took the back seat, whatever. Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, very inspiring. And she also taught her children to express their authentic selves, although usually it was unconventional. She had 3 very different children, but I celebrate you because I love Roseanne Conner. OG.
OG Roseanne.
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear your number 5.
Okay, my number 5 is Lorelai Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah.
So what I love about her relationship with her daughter, Rory, is that they are they speak the same language. They're kind of equals verbally, and they're witty and they're funny, and she's the cool mom. And so I think what I loved about this show is that I always wish that I could have that type of communication with my own mom, but my mom and I had language barriers. So it was kind of in my fantasy conversations with my mom. That's what it would be like. But I mean, also what I love is that she could be friends when it was time to be friendly, and then a mom when it was time to be a mom.
Oh, cool.
I love that she rejected her kind of rich family heritage because that just wasn't her. And so that was kind of part of her identity as well. Was
she kind of a young mom? Because I've never seen Gilmore Girls, so she kind of grew up with her.
Single mom. And so I just really, I don't know,
Very
I just
cool.
always loved that show, the way she interacted with her daughter, and they could just speak the same language. They were kind of verbally equal peers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool mom. I like
Cool
the cool
mom.
moms.
She's cool.
Yeah. I've never seen that show, but I need
It's
to
a
put
good
that
one.
on my list of shows to see.
Creators of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which you love.
Amy Sherman Palladino.
Yes.
Shout out.
Good job.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, our number 4 is next. So my number 4 is Norma Arnold. Does that sound familiar? Look at her beautiful face.
Oh, yes.
From the Wonder Years. So what I like about her is she's the quintessential 50s mom. And again, I'll say this again, I always think that I'm from the 50s. I have a weird special connection to the 50s. But anyway, she was super sweet, kind of quiet, maybe a little submissive, I know. But she was very involved in her children's lives and well-being. And I just think she's very classy. And I wanted to put her on there because I remember thinking, I wish she was my mom. That was probably in my rebellious teenage years. I love my mom. Love you, Mom. But I'm just saying, I remember thinking, she's so cool. She's so sweet,
Her hair kind of looks like your mom's.
Oh, there you go. She looks like my mom. We're going to go with that. See? I always wanted you all along, Mom. It's always about you. Oh, God. Let's move on.
Okay.
There you go. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Tammy Taylor from Friday Night Lights, which I know you never watched
I've never seen
yet
that either.
as well, but same creator as Parenthood.
Oh,
So you must,
there you
you
go.
will love. So she's a mom, 2 daughters. She's the wife of the football coach of the Dillon High School, although her husband at one point goes to coach the college football.
Oh, cool.
And so she kind of is alone a lot. So she decides she doesn't want to just be the trophy wife of the hotshot football coach. She decides to go back to work where she used to be a high school principal and a school counselor. So she goes back to be the high school counselor. And so she's a mom not just to her own 2 daughters, but basically to the high school kids as well.
Aww.
And she's just cool.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
She's such a Connie Britton.
Yes.
Who I love. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like the best mom to the football team and to all the kids at the high school. And like when you watch this show, you'll see why.
Aww.
She's one of my favorite moms of all time.
How sweet. I can't wait to see her.
So good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, next up is our number 3. So my number 3 is Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I always thought she was so cool, super inspiring. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's the kind of mom I want to be. So she's actually quite opposite from Norma, my number 2. So she's like, it's like the 80s response to like the 50s housewife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was a very successful lawyer, but she was also a mother of 6. I didn't realize there were 6 children. I've totally forgotten. I was like looking back and I'm like, whoa. She was a working mom, lawyer, with 6 children.
They didn't even have a nanny or
Enough
anything.
said. Yeah, exactly. And you know, her parenting style was like firm, but also very loving.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always thought she was like chill, like really
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean? Like really, really smooth. You know, even her discipline
Mm-hmm.
style was really cool. So give it up for Claire Huxtable.
Cool lady.
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready for your number 3?
Yeah, so my number 3, she's kind of new to my life. She's my new obsession.
Who?
She's Jessica Huang from Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I was like, who? Oh, tell
So,
me
you know, I
more.
recently discovered Fresh Off the Boat, and it's like, where have you been all my life? Well, you didn't exist all my life.
Well,
you just existed about 4 or 5 years
well, there
ago.
you go.
And all my life, I wanted like an Asian American like figure on TV that I could like relate to, identify
Yes.
with. Well, there she is.
Finally. Better late than never.
Chinese family in America. And so she is such a strong mom. She wants only the best for her children. She pushes them really hard. She just wants them to be the best. And yeah, so they don't always appreciate all the things that, I mean, they kind of don't like all the pushing that she does. But she wants them to be the best and make it in America, but also never give up on knowing about their Chinese heritage. And I feel like that's something that I always like wanted to see growing up. And I never saw it, not on American television, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to add her to this list.
That's so neat.
Jessica Huang.
Yay.
She's hilarious, too.
Aw, that's really cool. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. Okay, cool. You finally got that, right?
Yes.
Took long enough, but
Yes.
it's there. We're there. We've arrived. It's a great time to be alive. Okay, number 2. So my number 2 is Jill Taylor from Home Improvement.
Oh.
Did you watch Home
I totally
Improvement?
did, yes. Mhm.
So much fun. So Jill was the mom of 3 boys, which is like, well, I mean, you're a boy mom, right?
I am a boy mom.
2, I mean, that's fun.
They're dirty.
Rambunctious and dirty, exactly. But she was a very hardworking woman who often argued with her husband, Tim, the tool man, Taylor, about a woman's place. She was very good. She was very, very, she was a feminist, I
Yes.
think, right? And that was before, like, a long time ago. If you think about that, that show was a long time ago. Yeah, so she was ahead of her time. But she struggled to find a job. And do you remember, I don't know if you remember, but she actually ultimately went back to school, like, to find her place in the world. I mean, you know, I think sometimes it happens with moms that, like, the stay-at-home moms, that's like they feel like that's their only identity. It's like, but she was strong enough to go back, and yeah, she got her degree in psychology, I think it was. Yeah. And then Patricia Richardson, who played her, she actually showed her commitment to the role early when she insisted that the writers of the show make her character imperfect and wanted her to make mistakes, because she wanted other women that were watching her to know that, like, that's realistic. That's how moms are. We make mistakes. We don't know what we're doing all the time. So that was kind of cool. Patricia Richardson. And she's a mom, obviously, herself. But yeah, she was saying that, you know, it's totally possible to have a happy home and, like, healthy lifestyle and still make mistakes. Like, it's okay. We're not perfect.
Thank goodness.
And it's okay. Right. Thank goodness. Exactly. So that is my number 2.
I forgot about her.
She's so
I love that
cool.
show.
Yeah, I do too. I miss it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your number 2?
So my number 2 is Kristina Braverman from Parenthood.
Oh, I love
So
her.
I just love her for so many reasons. One of the things is, like, so she's kind of like that quintessential soccer mom. She was stay at home for a while. She had a son who had autism, and
I
so
know.
that's, like, really hard. Sometimes that kind of takes over a family, and so I think she did a good job of, like, addressing him, but not having it overtake the whole family at all times, dealing with their daughter Maddie. And I remember Maddie had a boyfriend who was like alcoholic. And that was like a really, it was a very good, like, you know, dealing with like, you know, your daughter having her boyfriend and how do you negotiate all that. And she had,
good.
yeah, she had cancer. She survived. I know that like when Adam was out of work, she went back to work for the first time, and that was like, I just loved watching her whole journey. And then she was also super awkward. Like, she's beautiful, but yet awkward. Like, she would have her like fumbling moments.
That's true.
I just love that about her. Monica Potter, who plays her.
Yes.
Such a good actress.
The lovely. Yes. Inside and out.
So Kristina Braverman, she's like mom role model.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
That's mom goals right there.
Yes, right there.
Yes. Hashtag mom goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the time has come to name our #1 favorite TV mom.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for my #1?
Yes.
Guess what?
Tell me.
It's Kristina Braverman.
No way!
From Parenthood.
She's so good! Oh, can you high five? Yeah.
Yay! You have her #2. That is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I obviously feel the same way. I feel like she's the epitome of unconditional love. Again, with the teenage daughter, which we've been teenage girls before. We know how that goes.
Not easy.
No, and then her son who has autism. She even has a little baby, remember Nora?
Oh yeah.
Through all of this,
Yes.
I mean, there's like all different times in their lives, like the teenager, I think he was like elementary, and then the baby. I mean, she made it look easy, kind of. I mean, she did struggle, and that's why we also love her, because you know that's very real. Yeah. But yeah, she gracefully stumbles through the difficulties of you know, momhood.
Yeah, momhood.
Momhood. Yeah, and then her cancer scare definitely made her more lovable, and it was interesting, like, because I remember watching the show, we didn't know if she was going to survive this or not, right? It was really hard on her, and I was like noticing that like her husband and the kids were like, what would we do without her?
Oh my god. Oh, I have goosebumps all over.
Because she was amazing, and I remember when I first watched it, kind of resisting her a little bit. She kind of scared me. You remember when I said that? I was like, I don't think I like the way Kristina was acting. I don't like how brash she was. I was such a jerk. Because she was just sticking up for her children or her husband or herself, whatever it was, and it really made me like switch my mindset about like, she's just being a strong woman. Why is that resisted? It's like a man can be strong and he's thought of as a leader, but when a woman is strong, she's thought of as like a biatch. So anyway, good job, Kristina Braverman. Yes, Monica Potter.
Oh, I love
I'm
it.
so excited you had her. Oh my gosh, but who's your #1?
Okay, so my #1, I know you love her as well. Oh my gosh. Is Joy Summers. Buffy's mom.
Yay!
Okay, what I love about Joy Summers
is everything.
I know you love her. So what I love about her is like, okay, so imagine you had a daughter.
Okay.
And you were like, okay, so now you're a vampire slayer. Well, guess what? I mean, it's not the role that I would have chosen for you, but if that's your destiny, I will support you. Man.
Perfect.
Done.
Done and done.
So, I mean, she wasn't perfect, and I love that about her as well.
Exactly.
But she supported Buffy. Like, she called her out on mistakes she thought she was making, but she was always there for her. She even took up, like, an axe to defend her against Spike at one point. Yes. Remember when she, like had a thing with Giles? That was great, too. But that's a separate thing. That was just funny.
That would have been amazing.
I know. And then, okay, so when she died, it was probably the most heartbreaking death I've ever seen on television to this day. Yeah. And the way they shot that, I think there was like 3 minutes of silence. Oh my gosh. What a tribute. It was so good. Yes. I just have to. She wasn't just Buffy's mom. She was the mom to the entire Scooby gang. Yeah. Because the other kids, they couldn't tell their parents. Because they didn't really have that type of parent that they can tell, like, hey, I'm a werewolf. Hey, I'm a witch. Yeah. By the way, there's vampires. Like, we live on Hellmouth. I don't think that Xander and Willow and Oz told their families all that stuff. But, you know, Joyce, she was the type of mom that, like, was there for you. Totally. So, so she's my #1.
I love her. I co-sign.
Yes.
That one. That was a really great list.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all you TV moms.
Mother's Day to all the moms. Yes. Oh, good list, Dr. S.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Oh, thanks. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this. We hope you agree. Comment below and let us know who your favorite TV moms are. We'll see you next time for our Fab 5. Bye, everybody.
Bye.